full aggression mode towards CTG.
That's for BB team, trying to get a little bit closer, trying to get into that grenade range. Meanwhile, Game Start Win took a long wrap around on the north side, and now they are right in the midst of Petrichor Road. Game Start Win, FaZe Clan will go down. Game Start Win going to lose 2 as Petrichor Road collapsing on top. BB team, meanwhile,
At the circle, but it doesn't come for free. 1 down, 2 down, make the 3 down already. Just 1 more left alive. Wenbo headshot connected down to just 1 HP. Gets him taken down, and BB team, while there was a path for them to maneuver out their shutdown, and look at now the immediate reaction from Bagopar. They didn't get there in time to engage on BB team, but they know they have a wounded CTG. Thing is, good read by Bagopar, knowing when not to go for it anymore. The window has been closed.
Yeah, they were wounded, but they weren't wounded enough.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and pull back. They've got PO still on the close side of the mountain, keeping ears open for this Rock and Anyone Legend fight. There's still a little bit more utility left in the bag for Anyone's Legend. They'll continue to drop those smokes. Rock has breached the compound, though, with Santastico and Biel Calmo leading the way.
Trying to smoke off the roof here, get himself some more room to work with as Baron peeks over with the P90 in hand, goes for too many targets, can't find anything. Muscle memory gets the better of him. Thought he had him, but didn't get none. Ming though is down, but Olympus falls as well as Baron now just Kiss left alive. Look at their health bars. They're all at under half. A couple of bullets committed out for 1. Maybe 2. Getting into 3rd. No! Just short and Myth fall in 9th.
Chewy the hero, and he's going to run and escape into the blue zone as Kiss will collect 3 kills off of that for his trouble. Meanwhile, Anyone's Legend, they are holding the line, but Bagopar has arrived as well, as they are kings of the castle for now, but the castle, the keep, is under attack.
Yep, from multiple angles too. Him, as we saw him just before throwing the smoke out on the roof. Now he ran out there, found souls with it as well. Again, love what Bagopar is doing here, sending 3 up to try and see if he can engage, but Xiangyang is still sat on the southern side, containing change the game, because they know they have them sat there by the bridges, and then running up the hillside is simply too dangerous for them to try and make that play happen. So nice disengage once more from the Korean team.
Smart veteran plays coming out from Bagopar. We'll see how they get into this late game. Santastico will spot out him ass on the high ground. He's down to low HP. He's got to stop down and heal up while that smoke continues to bloom. He's going to drop in. Destroy will come over immediately. Got Biel pushing with the shotty, but Hudat doing his best to hold that door. The one door that he knows could cause them problems. So Himas will get back on his feet. Meanwhile, Pentagram will try to send something in here, but they are just pinned down. Lost too many tires as Team Liquid had the compound on the high side. There you go. Himas finally showing up as he will finish off Rock.
Took half a group stage, but he's finally made his presence known. Here he is, most damage of the players currently alive here on the server. I think most kills as well. They're trying to make something off of this position as they now got the kills. Now, honestly, if this fight happens right now, Anyone's Legend might be in a perfect position to third party this. Wenbo finds one, the trade goes back the other way as well.
And look at this now, Anyone's Legend doing what they can to start third-partying that. You can see him in the kill feed as Bagopar. Guyon's going to go down. Pio and Akan, the last 2 remaining alive. Change the game down to Wenbo. He's off in the distance, but Bagopar has to be worried about Anyone's Legend coming in from the north. So the knock on a Himas, they clean it up with the help of Team Liquid. Pio with that Lumen Large.
Yep, able to find the final one, and importantly so, because they were down to just 2 Akan and Pio, trying to hold what's left of this side of the road to themselves, but they still have Wenbo to deal with. Pio trying to take him out. Wenbo down to under half HP, and they will find him in the end of it. But now a tricky road crossing for them to try and make glass here, raiding on one side, but that's for Team Liquid over on their side, try and make it out.
I'll tell you what, man. You look at that leaderboard on the left. Look how many teams on the lower half are sitting. They're dead, but look at 7 kills, 7 kills, 7 kills. Oh, yeah. And now you got Team Liquid and Asla Pentagram still in it. 7 kills for Bagopar. So all these teams that needed to find some footing start to make things happen here in the second half of this group stages. They're finding it now. We'll see who manages to pull this win out. As Theraton 5, they're looking good in the southeast. They've got all 4 up. Team Liquid, if they can finish off Glaz, oh boy, this sneaky snake, they have no idea he's over here. And Team Liquid has been bit in the past by snakes.
Oh, yes.
You can see them. They are being very, very careful.
At this point, they should have develop some sort of immunity to the venom of these snakes with how many times they've been bit. But, well, Evolution doesn't always want that to go their way. So we'll see if Glass can get something done here. I mean, it's effectively the only way for Liquid to go. They want to grow up that hillside. You can see it right there where the Glass is. They want to get at least one guy up there to get the overview position. But how many is it going to cost to try and claim it? As I say that, though, actually, no. Hell no, that's way too open. I didn't realize the hillside was this exposed to the south. Yeah,
they might just hop in the vehicles and try to find a foothold in.
They do.
Yeah,
Purdy's
that's going to be Purdy Curdy going to go ahead and send it first. While Theraton 5 keep good eyes out. Oh, Bagel Pa. PO with that This is giving PTSD from anyone who was around in 2019, 2020. Sparking going to try to heal up as Glaz will get a little bit sneakier.
Oh, he saw PO as well?
Only thing Liquid's got going for him is that he doesn't have a single grenade to his name, so all he can do is really spray him down. And Pio's going to get popped out, and he's going to get the he's going to get the flush. He's going to find Luke as well. Purdy Curdy, the last one. He's got to switch over to the mini. He's getting shot at from range. No! Team Liquid going down to the snake once again as Glaz will get taken down by Excrozit.
Glaz down, fat-fingered it hard enough to even whip out the smoke grenade launcher, but still able to reign supreme. Bagel Pa will fight with tooth and nail to claim extra points today. They're thriving.
Okay, Pio, let's see what kind of magic you got left as Akan is having to hold the line against the push. Pio's going to spot him out. He's going to swap over to that M4, but he's going to, oh man, the old man still got it. The sprays are just ridiculous, and Akan now going to be the one to make the push.
Yeah, definitely. Theraton 5 want to claim their second win on the day here. Scrolls it up to 5 kills already. Looking to claim even more. They have util to work with, still 12 nades, 10 smokes. They have everything in their arsenal to bring this one home. Full circle control, so this is just going to be a waiting game.
There it is.
First one down already. That's PO out. And there you go. Akan is going to try and deny. There's no other way.
Akan runs into the blue, the deny comes through, and Theraton 5 get their second win of the day, much to the delight of the crowd in attendance.
Didn't have to do overly much halfway through this game. All the fights were taking place around the compound they found themselves in, but they came in early. They jumped on opponents, took it out of their hands, and got themselves a swift victory in the end of it.
Man, what a play. I mean, great stuff from Theraton 5, but what a wild game that we saw there. I mean, FaZe Clan going through so many things at the beginning of that one, picking up a bunch of kills. You saw such a lot of the players on the lower half of the leaderboard starting to find some points. Exactly. So we're kind of bringing the lower half of the leaderboard more in line as the top half has really just not produced a whole lot today.
21 points split between 3 teams, all sat outside of the top 10 is going to make things even tighter than they already were. 2 more matches left to play here today for Group B. Back to the desk and then a break before we head on over to Orankle.
It's the second of the day for the hometown favorites here as we've got Theraton 5 getting themselves yet another victory on the board. They're pushing up those leaderboards here as we had a rampant rondo from all of these teams charging into one another. I could not believe my eyes in this one.
You know, it's like the opposite of the meme. Instead of dad checking in, it's like Rosita Jr.'s here and he's saying, "How's it going in there, Dad?" And he gets to say, "I'm dominating." 2 chicken dinners on a day is wild. These guys look so good, and again, you can hear the crowd in their pocket the entire time cheering them on.
That small child, very eloquently spoken.
Well, you know, you develop fast. Your dad's that good of a fragger. You got to get ready to be on his team in the near future.
Yeah, future pro gamer.
I'm just saying.
For sure. That's what I'll be forcing my child to do. Anyway, never mind. We've got ourselves...
I already am.
Theraton 5 with this victory. There was actually a lot going on throughout this game. Himas might be back. Well, I don't know yet, but he might be because it's not really been very good for them so far. But at least he got himself 5 for this one.
Right, I'm uncomfortable saying he's back already, but that was a great game before. Because honestly, even till before the end game, we were talking about like Destroyer's really been sort of carrying things for these guys, and then Himas just unlocked. But I think part of that is they made it to the end game. That's when Himas is best, when he is fighting in confined areas, when there's not 16 other teams shooting at him. That's when he makes his moves.
Trimsy's still sad about that C4.
Still sad about the C4.
But as we take a look across all of the faces from these teams, I mean, as you fall down on a circle like this, with all of these teams trying to kind of cut up a little bit of the pie for themselves, They're on 5 just had full control of the spot that they had, right? For a long time during this. You can even see in the crowd as well.
She's not a Therathon 5 flan in the front.
Actually, no, she not like it now. All right, we'll pick another tie team for. Oh wait!
What was that for? I gotta know. That's fun. I'll tell you who's been the biggest surprise for me that I've been super like hyped for today, and that's Asla Pentagram. Like,
mates,
what? They came in, they won a game, or had a dominating game, still didn't make it out of the bottom 3, and then have 2 more after what they did day 1. This is a totally different team that showed up here today.
Red Zone was smashing everything in this.
Red Zone's taking his name seriously.
Very much so, yeah. Explosions everywhere because he is just hitting shots constantly. I have been particularly impressed. And the thing is for them is if they'd had even just a middling day on day 1, they would have been in contention for top 5 right now. The fact that they've had 3 insane games today with another 11 points going their way, and they're probably not. Well, they might actually be now.
I think they should. If I guess right, they're going to be around 7th place at this point.
You think so?
I think this is one of those. If they do 2 more games of what they've done in the first 4, they could be in a position to advance straight to the grand final.
Well, 17 points for Third on 5, and at the same time, Bagopar is also challenging for the top 5 now here with Pio. This is all topsy-turvy.
From a hot drop into resort with a super feed,
which we hated,
right? Which we absolutely hated, into a 2nd place and a continuing climb up the leaderboard. It's absolutely bananas how shaken loose it is. And honestly, the craziest thing for me is how all the top teams coming into today have not been the top teams today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a real strong mix-up here for day 2. And with match 10 down, we've got quite a few to go. And here it is. Here's how we stand. Okay, let's quickly take stock of this.
Okay.
Because, yes, we still have EMEA up there. We have Team Falcon still looking strong at that 2nd place spot. They're on 5 with their 2 wins today. They've jumped cleanly into that top 5. And we're still surprised, Asla Pentagram, after such a good day, is still only in 9th.
It is. I will say this. When we watched the first day of play, we saw a couple of our tie teams and some outliers make good moves in the first half of the day. And it was the second half when we hit a wrangle that we saw some of our EMEA and Americas teams make these big comebacks and push up towards the top.
Yeah.
We're about to make that transition back into the grassy pastures where, again, with a lobby that is so system dependent, I do think that's the map where a lot of those guys have a chance to put their points back on the board.
And with that chance comes the fact that everyone 15th and up can still make pretty decent strides, pretty decent jumps. I think for game start win, though, they're in a realm of their own right now. Somebody sent them to the Shadow Realm. They're only on 19 points here down at the bottom. They've got to make something happen now and quickly.
If they don't do it now, it's going to be game start preparing to fly home because they are not looking good and something huge has to change.
I was going to go with game start bin, but anyway, we'll see how that all unfolds in a few moments. We're going to go to a break. I'm so sorry. And then when we return, we have got Erangel on the cards.
Fueled by the same passion as esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded Diac 2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
at long last, I caught the one I'd been waiting for. With steady hands, I crafted amazing furniture in no time. Down the wide, open road, I raced faster than everyone else. For the very first time, I baked the perfect pie. In Dinkum. Find adventure in every direction.
Hello, PUBG and PUBG Mobile fans. Thanks to your passionate, unwavering support, we've been able to grow tremendously on the battlegrounds of PUBG and PUBG Mobile. To give back to our fans, even in a small way, and to present you with a brand new experience of the #1 Battle Royale, we are bringing together PUBG and PUBG Mobile and uniting them under one stage, PUBG United, launching in 2025. PUBG United's journey begins in Siam District, Bangkok, where the tournament will be held this November. Around Siam Paragon and across the city, you'll discover PUBG experiences that you can't take your eyes off. You can also experience the PUBG United Fan Zone, where you will find booths dedicated to PUBG and PGC, as well as PUBG Mobile and PMGC. There will also be special collaboration pop-ups with global brands. A variety of PUBG-themed events and hands-on activities are waiting for fans to enjoy to the fullest, so be ready. For online fans, a special website will open, bringing together every moment of PGC and PMGC so you can enjoy PUBG United anytime, anywhere. For the first time in esports history, PUBG Global Championship and PUBG Mobile Global Championship will unite on a single stage. Starting with a grand opening ceremony on a massive scale, each day brings new and exciting moments. With that energy building up, the intense grand finals of PGC and PMGC will come together for the first time in history on one united stage. On this one-of-a-kind stage, the world's top players will battle in back-to-back grand finals, offering an experience like never before. One world, two champions, coming together in a truly historic moment. November 24th to December 14th in Bangkok, Thailand. Come and experience PUBG United to the fullest. We will continue striving to be a PUBG and PUBG Mobile that never stops working hard for our fans. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. We have 4 games in the books, 2 more left to play, and it has been a story of the bottom half of the leaderboard getting back involved and the top of the leaderboard kind of letting them in as we are back for our final 2 games of the day on Erangel. Once again, I am Porosaurus. Joining me is The Name is Toby, and we have 2 games left to play, Toby. Are we going to see more of the same where our teams that were kind of in the hunt are finding their footing?
I think so. I mean, the momentum alone that some of these teams have got going, Pentagram, perfect example thereof, had they been falling off, that would have happened already. We saw them succeed on Miramar early on. The fact that they were able to take that with them over to both Taco and Rondo, I think that means they should also come off all right here on Erangel. I want to say, though, we talked about FaZe coming into this match. Then they popped off, maybe a bit too early in the game, but were able to get themselves 7 kills in that game. Hopefully, for them, for the likes thereof, trying to climb to the top, they'll be able to maintain this this push on through, too.
There's a massive log jam right there in the middle. In FaZe, Petrichor Road, made in Thailand, they're all just on the cusp of it. With 2 games remaining before we go to our final day of play, everybody wants to put themselves in the best position with 6 remaining. So we expect to see some of these teams really find their footing on what has been a very violent and early aggressive map. There you go. It's like the Porsche. Make sure you get your Porsches in, guys. That's coming to an end pretty soon, I think.
That is true. As you can see here, a rare, somewhat difficult playing path on Erangel. Usually they're very forgiving, but in this case, even reaching Pachinki is a stretch, and that's when you know it's a little bit difficult to maneuver through. Also, when you have the Sloppy in particular, who actually, I mean, for the most part, favors the western part of the map in terms of their prioritized loot spots. So a lot of teams having to ult drop or at least stretch a bit thinner in order to try and reach their landing areas.
Yesterday we saw a circle go all the way up to the north, and then we saw a military island circle. So we'll see if that remains the case here today, as you see Falcons getting a little bit down on the south coast here, getting close to Na'Vi. Surely not, right?
That's vehicles jumping. There's no way Na'Vi would go for any sort of fight here. They're going for cars and they've lost. Get away, guys.
I don't think either team really wants any piece of this. So
you're not winning.
Akatori's going to go for it, though, and he's going to get in the passenger seat. He's going to have to hop out. And Falcons, well, they're good guys. They're going to go ahead and let him be, as the circle will pop, and it's going to go off to the east. Another circle today, Toby, with a big portion of it unplayable right off the bat.
I heard the crowd start cheering off the circle. I was like, what's so crazy about? Oh, wait, T5 is way up north.
Yep, there it is.
I only realized that now. I was like, oh yeah, they're driving into Kameshki. Perfect starting position for them in this one.
Yeah, changed the game already on the move.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little bit closer towards center. You see Pentagram also have red zone over there in heaven, so we'll see if the rest of the team decides to join them. Copenhagen Wolves, meanwhile, playing out of Yasnaya. And, looks like we might have a little bit of action here over towards shooting range, where Rox Biel, Mount Calmo, has spotted out Olympus.
Got themselves a good game earlier. Biel able to climb up the board within his individual prowess. Now feeling it on the hunt. But Olympus ain't an easy player to take down. I think he's sensed that something is not as it's supposed to be. He's backing off early, actually sitting behind the wall, making a run for it now. So he definitely must have heard something. I think, you know what? Yep, I was just going to say it's Scabby up high with a with a red dot SKS able to spot Biel. And Biel has absolutely no clue that there's a guy set up here watching.
He sure doesn't. Scappy, I think, just defending his teammate. But that red dot SKS, that is Scabby, he's like, I don't want to do this. I really don't. But don't make me do this, Biel. But Biel is being, as you said,
he has no clue.
Very aggressive. But the rest of his team is starting to arrive on that the eastern side of shooting range. You can see them starting to drive around. And yes, Scappy, he's going to pull away here.
He's trying to reposition, I think, get a better angle and keep track of what Biel is doing. But he should be hearing and seeing that Biel come into. Yep, there you go. Reposition, get behind the tree so that the guys from Rock can't see him up there. Stay unnoticed for as long as you possibly can.
Now, the rest of Myth still in North George.
Yep.
So they're nowhere near this. So they need to play this about as quietly as they can. But you can see Rock is definitely on the hunt. They know these guys are somewhere. Nice spray. Oh, instant headshot onto Biel. Forces him to pull back down. The rest of the team is going to try to provide some support. Can they do it? Biel will be able to get that res off. He's got the Panzerfaust in hand. He's going to peek him over the top. He's going to find him through the fence. And Olympus gets taken down.
And Scappy, all he can do is like, bro, it's 4 guys. I have 10 bullets and a red dot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Got a whole lot of nothing.
Nothing more he can do with it. As Biel does, Olympus does get eliminated. In the meantime, on the other side of the circle, we talked about Asla Pentagram and getting aggressive early on in the game. Here they are already. Issue is they've run into Petrichor, a team who also in the previous game finally started to get something going.
And I think this might have been the case of Petrichor running into them, because remember,
Yeah.
Pentagram had stopped here to do their looting, and all of a sudden, it's down to just red zone. Petrichor, AZ is very low. Red zone trying to make that push with a shot. He's going to find AZ, and now it is a 1v1, and James coming from the sky to collect points. He gets 4, they get 5. FaZe out of nowhere.
Wow! Still one left to be found, though. Shotgun in hand. 3 bullets to work with. That could be 3 knocks, and right now there's only 2 players you need to take out. That's the first one. The second one off the side of the railing as well.
And he's got the flashbang. Oh, he hits the post, though. He's going to try to sleek around, but they spot him out. He gets 2
Just one
down,
more.
one more for FaZe. Vard. Of course, it had to be Vard. But now again, have we seen this before? It's like we're seeing the same thing in slow motion. FaZe wins a fight with 1 left alive, but now they've got another team left to deal with.
I know 2 teams left to deal with. VP is coming in here as well. I know we like to call this heaven, but I did not expect this to be an express rate to death.
Heaven turning into hell for FaZe, as Sosid will find him, and Red Zone will get credit for 3 kills there. So as the Pentagram go down early, but not without getting some points, and now Virtus Pro turning their attention towards Na'Vi.
This is a one stop to the afterlife if you're in this position today. Holy moly. VP, I think, intentionally, you know, pumping the brakes here for a bit, going, okay, that was pretty crazy. If we're Team 5 engaging in this, there might be 2 more to follow. And I think for Na'Vi, they're appreciating the breather here. Not that they had to do too much in order to claim this position, but wow. And it's the 3 teams we just talked about, wanting to see these guys step up, wanting to see them more aggressive, go out, carry on with that momentum. Issue is, when you have 4 teams carrying that momentum into the same compound, well, only one of them is going to stay alive.
6 minutes in, and 3 teams already removed from the lobby in match 11 here on day number 2. As we check in, and we finally get a chance to check in with Theraton 5 and see what their boys were able to do in that big victory in match 10. So we'll see if Theraton 5 can hold on to that top 5 position. 70 points overall, but you can see the logjam right beneath them. They are not done yet. Still a lot of work left to do.
Goes to show the compound they were playing out of and what they were capable of doing. Exploded 5 kills and 200 damage. They were stealing points galore. And you know what? Doesn't matter if it's stolen, if you did 100 damage. A point is a point, and they'll happily take all of them.
Well, fun fact, when you are down to 51 alive when in Circle 1, all of a sudden your circle has a lot more room left to play. So this it kind of helps out, considering the circle we talked about as about 40–45% unplayable, all water. It's kind of nice to have that room to work around with. But we did get a chance to hear what RBN has to say about Rock's big performance today.
And now we're with RBN from Rock Esports. So congrats to you with a chicken with that 12 kills. Yeah. That's insane. But you didn't participate in PGS 9 and 10, right? But finally you made it here in PTC 2025. So would like you to describe yourself now. So about your current form.
Yeah, like it feels pretty good to be back on the big stage. Like PGC is the biggest tournament of the year. So it feels pretty good. And about our form, we are not in the best form right now. We still have a lot of things to improve. I think that we're improving game by game. And we have a lot to show over the tournament. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it feels okay. We know that we have a lot to show to our fans, and especially prove to ourselves. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone, let's cheer Rock Esports.
We love to get to hear from RBN, especially when Rock has been having such a great day. But there are so many fights going on, Toby. Na'Vi still squaring all with Virtus Pro. Meanwhile, on the north side, you've got Rock, Game Start Win, and Team Liquid all battling for control of north of Stalber.
That's oh, wow, that actually went through the window as well. Good thing for Nixie, he backed off a bit further, because that would have had his name on it had he not. And yeah, as you say, a lot of fights happening here. It's usually a wrangle that plays out more calculated, but this has been
not
a complete flip upside down to this one. They have been schematic throughout all of the other maps, but take it over to a wrangle and chaos ensues.
I'm telling you, we get to introduce a whole new generation to the concept of Game 6 scrims as we see everybody just going nuts right now. Fortunately for Team Liquid, they managed to pick up 2 off of, I believe that was Game Start Win. Yeah, Game Start Win. Actually, they pick up 1 off of GSW, 1 off of Rock. So Team Liquid still kind of in the sandwich there between these 2 teams, and this is all out of zone. So this will have to move down south towards Stalber eventually. It looks like Team Liquid's already going to try to send it now.
I would love to hear. You know, I mean, obviously all the other teams know approximately where teams like to land and split out and whatnot. I'm wondering if we were to listen through all the teams' team comms in this game, how many of them would actually say, yeah, this fight is happening in heaven? You know, like how many of the teams that were in no distance to hear the shots fired would have actually figured this was where that fight took place? They'll just be fouled on the western side and be like, huh, I guess 3 teams just died.
Man, I mean, FaZe, if they didn't have bad luck, they'd have no luck at all.
One as well.
Honestly, like, goodness gracious. I mean, they, again, six kills, and then it's just unfortunately for them, it's the 3rd, 4th party that comes in every time today. That's kind of put a wrench in the works for them.
But at least, if anything, it's not that they go in, die with nothing. They actually get points. Even in the last one, yes, they fall out early, but it's a 7-point game. That could have been a 3-kill 4th place as well, you know? I mean,
Absolutely.
It's 7 points. You'll take that any day of the week. And for FaZe, the only issue is they fall out early, and you know they're like, oh, we got a lot of points. Sure, we could have got way more than that.
Oh, there you go. Hackatory might be in the middle of a scrap with Virtus Pro, but he's still got time to look off to the south and get the knock onto Houdat, just in case you forgot who he was.
Yeah.
He is just laying it down. And Virtus Pro going to use that opportunity to sneak over there. You can see they can maybe take him. And yeah, they do. Nixie going to find the grenade right on top of Hackatory. So Virtus Pro will finish off Na'Vi in the end, and Nixie gets back on his feet.
I love the fact that we have a car parked on the roof of heaven.
Thank you, James.
Just to underline the chaos that hasn't gone in this.
Oh,
that is a perfect nade! Time just a split second off. That would have been both, but not quite to be. They do get the rest, but not for long. Down goes Houdat again.
Doesn't even have time to turn the car around. Hima's just going to throw it in reverse and get to safety. And the moderate safety of the dip as Houdat does get finished out. Looks like Game Start Win was able to get CC 108 back, although they are still way off to the north, and CC looks like he's going to be playing all the way to the south of this new circle over by Prison.
I mean, there's so much space.
But there's, I mean, yeah, 46 alive. You got all the space in the world here.
Exactly. The only reason it looks somewhat cluttered is because the same few teams are splitting pretty thin. I mean, under normal circumstances, this would be, I mean, way more congested. As we now see, the only player in the sky being shot at by half the server, Olympus, wants to make it down on the ground, but it ain't as easy as he was hoping for it to be. 40 health. One more bullet could do it, but no more bullets will do it.
He will make it. Good for him. Meanwhile, looks like all that fighting that was going on to the north, Rock able to separate. They're able to get the revive to the revive station in Kameshki, so they'll get their man back here shortly. Myth, meanwhile, has come in from the north side. They're getting a little bit close to Team Liquid, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Game Start Win have wrapped all the way back down to the south. They're looking to rejoin their player CC 108 over by Prison, but anyone's legend is already posted up around there, so they're going to have to be careful.
Yeah. Again, I mean, as I was saying, teams are splitting so thin here because there's so much room to take. Strimsy holding the entry point to the circle here. I think it was H when they gave the info across. The Game Start Win was wrapping around him, so he posted up halfway through that rotation and got himself a freebie.
Yeah, Shatong breaking the line that was set by Shapian, and he ends up paying the price for it as Falcons continue to play around on this edge. Now, Kickstart is very close to Himas in that BRDM. Himas, you saw, pulling out that Panzerfaust, but Kickstart just going to blow by. But Shrimsy and Tickleton starting to creep over in this general direction as well. Himas going to hop in the vehicle now that the new circle has popped, try to rejoin the rest of the boys.
Yeah, it's, I mean, for both Falcons and all. So, I mean, no, never mind. Anyone's legend has this position in the Kink down on the southern side, but for Falcons, where do you opt to go from here? You have decent vehicles to, you know, move there. BRDM and whatnot to kind of linger in the open, but where are they looking to play this one from? I'm not sure. I don't think BP team is going to be able to single-handedly maintain mansion control throughout this entire one.
Well, I think you bring up an excellent point there with Falcons having that BRDM, so the amount of real estate that they can play around is opened up a lot more since they have that big cover to play with. As we see Therodon 5 trying to reposition. They're going to come just off to the north of CTG. We'll see if CTG lets that stand. Meanwhile, Myth going to pull by them as well. Rock will have their player rejoin them on the north side as they try to find their way in. Myth looks like they're going to go into the forest, make their way all the way over to Mansion, which is being occupied by BB Team.
Destroy just said it, guys. I can hear a tank. Don't make a sound. I know my buggy is parked right next to
Their vision is based on sight, on movement. Their vision is based on sight. God,
that's how ice works. But we can talk. We can talk about
usually
that
how
some other
eyes
day.
work. Yeah. Vision is based on movement. I knew I had it. It was good. We got there eventually. Team Liquid starting to make their way over in as well as we see Rock just trying to scout out the next move. Now that they've got Biel, Biel going to loot up a little bit. And RBN Santastico, they're going to keep just playing around on that edge. They don't have any, don't look like they have any hurry in trying to get closer towards center. Team Liquid, though, you can see what they're working with.
The fact that GameStop win, I mean, they're playing this so slow, so careful, because they don't know what they're running into. They're only now coming in from the west side, right? The fact that Xiaopian is running in to the 4-stack next to Prison going, guys, it's free?
Open.
What? It's no one's been here. What's going on? I think they're realizing that now. It's a little late, though. One might get caught off. Ming still driving south around Prison, and obviously Liquid would have heard that. Seeing him now as well. If they get enough here, having seen that they lost one just before, and they then opt to pull up in a 4v2 against Xiaopian on the 4-stack, that's a good pathing potentially for Liquid, of course, depending on where this next circle takes us in 30 seconds.
And you see the scouting coming through from Rock. He's going to let him know that Lipovka is completely available. Meanwhile, E-Pickup has been popped, and that's going to be Virtus Pro over there in Heaven, or what used to be Heaven, which we're going to now term Hell after what we saw earlier in this game. We'll see if they decide to take that E-Pickup on this circle pop.
Yeah, not going to be easy for whoever has to rotate now. I mean, we said there's a lot of space, but teams are also dug in pretty deep in the compounds. There's sat in circle, though, centering up. Thailand cheers as T5 gets blessed being in the lower part of the cut compound.
All right, we'll see where Virtus Pro decides to go. As looks like RBN and Solds still just hanging around in Lipovka, but not calling the rest of the team down there.
They're going into the woods, right?
Virtus Pro?
Surely, up on the hill. There's no one there. There's no cars.
You play that ridge.
You play the southeast side here.
Yeah, you play the ridge just to the west of Lipovka, maybe?
There you go.
Or, yeah, perfect. That's exactly what they'll do.
Good read.
Okay. Game start win, though. They're going to see this. And, yeah, they're taking shots, change the game, taking shots. Looks like Virtus Pro will get everybody back down to the ground, safe and sound. But game start win, they're going to start heading over in this area because this is basically the only play they really have available to them.
And I was just going to say, the only issue of them coming in from there now is a great spot to be in, but you're going to need cars if you want to rotate out. Well, there's a spawn down by Lipovka because no one's been there all game. So Logarooks able to get the team a car and wrap towards the hilltop now as well. Issue is that CC108 is actually snug up close, and I say snug up, that's not the case. It already drove up here, so they should be alerted on the side of VP.
All right, Team Liquid using this opportunity to say, let's go back where we came from. They already took some shots from Falcons, so they should know that these guys are over here. But as you mentioned, Falcons have that BRD, and they have the ability to play a little bit more out in the open while Kickstart is scouting by tank, essentially. And Liquid will breeze past and take a few shots from BB Team. We'll see if they can find a home here just off to the east, but change the game, have the shots now. Bagelpa have the shots. Now Liquid just gonna send it right into Myth, and everything is occupied here for Liquid. They just did not have vision on any of this.
Again, it's the timing and the engage here. They're not together in the arrival, and unfortunately for them, Made in Thailand are landing every single shot needed in order to take him down. Purdy's still driving around, trying to find somewhere to call home, but there were 3 checkpoints they passed, and I'm not sure where they were hoping to stop there.
Yeah, just no safe haven really to be found there for Team Liquid. As we see the mortars already being laid out by Mr. Tiggleton, where they being sent right over towards anyone's legend.
Yep.
They're just not going to find the mark here, and they'll continue to just slowly move in, cleaning up. It looks like Virtus Pro will take care of game start win. Indeed they do, as they wrap a little bit further south here.
Yeah, it's Lokisinary flanking around the southern side of that one, opening up the angle, finding the first one, and then Beamy there with the element of not so much surprise, more just the fact that Lokisinary kind of baited the attention early to then catch them with their eyes facing the other direction. Good communication and an execution on that one. Circle goes south. Some people cheering, not all of them, because Thailand now on the edge.
Well, Begopah should be feeling pretty comfy, but 40 alive now with 20 minutes left to play, and it might be less as Falcons continue to make this push into anyone's legend, but doesn't look like they completely want this, as Tickleton will have to stop down, heal up just a little bit.
They just want that BRDM to get the hell out of there. That's what they want. Like, please, just let's do it with guns, shall we? We don't want you just parked over there staring at us like a tiger just waiting to take out his
Look at
prey.
them. They're staring at us menacingly.
Exactly.
The BRDM is parked menacingly.
Intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. Rock, they got 3 deep in the dossier. They're going to pull a little bit close here to Therodon 5. We'll see if Therodon 5 is ready for it, as they will hop out immediately. They're going to spread out, though. They expect the grenades to come in, and no grenade finds the mark. So good work on the part of Rock there to expect the response there from T5, and they're immediately throwing down the smoke wall to protect themselves from Copenhagen Wolves.
The upside for T5 is they don't really have to worry too much about Rock, because they can only really engage them with utility from up above. You have CTG that can spot them if they're up to run in, and as you say, from Wolves up on the northern side, they're very exposed, so T5 can kind of just wait this one out and let Rock be taken out by other teams if they, or when I should say, they run out of smoke.
And Rock can't afford to stick around here too long, as they are outside of zone. Meanwhile, anyone's legend still having to deal with the utility barrage from Falcons, but it doesn't look like it's doing anything just yet. Therodon 5 just defending their castle, as Wolves will try to send it into the smallest of dips, but now Begopah has found an angle onto Falcons, and Kickstart's going to go down. And the mortars from Pio. Hopefully he's better with the mortars than he is with the glider, and he is. There's the flush on the Kickstart.
Falcons getting a taste of their own medicine here. Usually it's take in the hands of the mortars, but this time around it goes over to the hand of Begopah as they continue to appreciate the comfort of their central compound, which is currently being completely uncontested. Shrimpsy does take it down by Chan, but a rest, I would imagine, should be possible, because that's from the hill way above, and yeah, they do have cover.
And all of this trouble for Falcons coming simply because anyone's legend's just not dying.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing a heck of a job just surviving throughout all of this. Meanwhile, now Therodon 5 going to take that first knock on a Fluky, and that's going to open the door for Rock to make their push in. We'll see how much utility Therodon 5 has left in the bag, as they are throwing down smokes, throwing down Molotovs, throwing down anything they can to slow this push.
I was just saying it as they came over the hillside, right? They need to engage with util, and luckily for them, Fluky, well, he thought he had a good idea in the shack, but one nade is all it took to take him down. So now a 4v3 advantage. Nades and util still available on the side of T5, but they have gone into hiding again, hoping that your CGGs up above is going to help you out. But as we can see right now, change the game there, a hot fix towards the southwest, so there's not a whole lot of help to get from China.
That could be a good grenade. Indeed it is. Ranger X will find the knock on the Santastico. We'll follow it up with a second one, see if he can find something. It's going to bounce, and he's going to find Solds. The angles on this man, as now Therodon 5, they're going to send the flashbangs over, but that's going to draw the attention of Change the Game. They're going to look over down here as Biel Malcolmo will play around that. Nicely done by Therodon 5. They lose Fluky, but they will take down Rock in the end.
One nade from miles away from Winbo steals 2 of those kills away from them as well. But T5 gets to stay alive, and here comes Falcons losing Shrimpsy once again, ticked down to low HP too, as they're being shot at from multiple sides. That's a great nade thrown in from behind, and Destroy takes out Team Falcons again. AL able to just survive for this long, ends up being the downfall for the team on the other side. VP now engaging on CG, they got the opening up, they find the second as well. Beamy with the MK from in the car takes CGG down to just 2.
Just 2 huge knocks there onto CTG, opens the door for Virtus Pro, and it might not be inside the zone, but this is looking real juicy as they have 9 kills already. They continue their climb up the leaderboard, secure their top 5 spot.
Talked about the importance of having a vehicle on that side of the map, right? That's the car they got. The one vehicle that was left behind down by Lipovka, and they just, well, they made that the winning play.
Playing pretty nice for him right now, but they have to make sure that they finish this off cleanly. You don't want to lose anybody when you're still forward. Okay.
Did he just hit that Nixie from up high? He did.
Goodness, Virtus Pro. Here we get a replay of what they've been up to recently, which is basically just destroying everybody on that south side of the lobby.
Bottom right, of course, is live, so BP do take out Myth. And BP as well. I mean, it's been a somewhat quiet game for them. Having said that, 6 kills now as they've been getting more active through the mid game. They've been able to chill and mention for a while. Somewhat uncontested, but now the fight's on the northern side with VP taking control of the backside of this building. CTG knows they have to make aggressive plays come through. Not gonna happen though. Wenbo does get the double. So for VP, oh, they drove off the side. There's no chance for them to go for the play here.
They had to take the Copenhagen Wolves spot. Change the game. Man, Wenbo really putting them on the clock there as BB team now in a little bit of trouble. They're going to lose best of luck, but they have 6 kills. A doozy Phil first Moloduk, though, still have a lot of area, a lot of real estate on that western side to work with, and I still cannot believe that anyone's legend is still in this game.
Yep. 2 players left alive. Him has just filled their Ranger X now. I mean, for T5 trying to come off this hill is practically a death sentence. The entire server sat here waiting for them. It was going to happen eventually. Observers highlighting the central compound because, yes, it is, in fact, the only compound in play and has been for a bit.
And Virtus Pro putting up the highest kill count that we have seen so far, 15 already, and they are looking to get some more. Bagel Pass still have that compound, though, as Pio is going to spot out Haizaki. Everybody trying to avoid their line of sight as much as possible. Aduzi will try to steal that one away, but in the end, it's going to go into Pio's basket. As we get to see BB team rocking the bolties once again.
P90 tapping at that distance is not something you see utilized too often, but it is a laser at practically all distances, so might as well try and see if you can
absolutely
hit here flushes with it. It's Destroy, prone down, outside circle. They've been doing such a good job. Their tenacity, their eagerness to stay put in this one has brought them into the top 4, but I don't think there's a whole lot more coming for them. One more bullet should be enough. You can see he's crawling back and forth. Not gonna make it. No, he is gonna fall. Correxy down as well. And he's the eye up high, so I don't think necessarily that VP has a chance to get him back in the game either.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at this for a minute. I just don't know what Virtus Pro and BB team can do to get into Bago Pa's little line here. You see Corexy, all he had was a tree. So BB team, this is their best option. They're going to lay down the smoke wall, try to move in a little bit closer with those vehicles and try to find a path, something that they can play, maybe a rock, a dip, anything. And it looks like it's going to come down to the emergency cover. We'll see if that will be enough for them.
First, second place, we're already separated from the rest of the leaderboard. This game is only going to make that even worse. Phil first will go down. PO spots him. Rest might be possible, but as I say that, no, the vehicle's going to blow up, and he should be imminent to follow after.
Yeah, there's not much really BB can do here. You see, they still got, they only have 1 smoke, and I don't know if you want to spend it to try to get Phil first back, but BP kind of in the same boat. They're laying down the smoke wall as thick as they can. As Bagopod it's a target-rich environment. They've got to keep eyes north and south at the same time.
The fact that Pierre is playing the roof against 2 of the best teams in the NBA, just casually shooting back and forth at both of them, he plays with little to no care at all. Just like, you want me? Come get me. I'm up here on the roof, and I'm going to keep you suppressed for the rest of the game.
And I'll tell you, I don't think we've seen shots being sent over towards Bagopod in a while.
Yep.
And, I mean, you can see where Pio's playing. He's on that far south eastern side of the circle, so he's got a rooftop that's just not really in a place where VP or BB can take shots. And you can see VP, all their eyes are pointed over towards BB team. They're trying to get rid of them, knowing that there's not really anything they can do about Bagel Pop. And a doozy with the bolty through the smokes. He's gonna find 2.
Main priority right now is second place guaranteed, and so far BB is doing a good job trying to secure it. Just Nixie left alive. All the bounce off the tree. Sends it. Second one, though, finds BB, and now Nixie trying to stay alive. There's only 2 on the side of BB team, so it could be possible for him to stay alive through it, but a lot of the utility is being thrown in his direction. And with the last smoke fading, you'd have to imagine these days are counted, and indeed they are.
And Bagel Pa starting to get a little bit more active now, spreading out. They knew the VP was pretty much dead, and BB team, they know they're done for. They're going to give this one over to Bagel Pa, and that is going to be a win for the old man.
Great game from them on Rondo in the previous one. Not a win, but a good one nonetheless. And now once more out here with a chicken dinner. Great hold of a compound, which, in all fairness, is pretty straightforward to hold when no one's looking your way. But for BB team, 10 kills. For the side of VP, 15. And that's with none on the side of Correxy too.
You know, we were talking about the fact that the top of the leaderboard has been a little bit kind of slow to show up here today. Well, they waited till they got to Erangel to find their footing. But the boys from Bagel Pa, they get a little bit of circle love, but this is just going to secure their spot there in the middle there.
It's easier to stay alive in the top when the entire mid-pack kills themselves in one compound within the first 5 minutes of the game. Well, there's one more game left to play. Let's go to a break before we send it over to Erangel once more.
Bagel Pa is hungry for more, and they get themselves the victory, but it did feel like a lot of it was robbed away from them. No buffet for Bagel Pa, because it seemed like Virtus Pro and BB team just wanted to kill each other, but Bagel Pa does get the victory here, Toffees.
Rob, Stolen, Smush. We'll go back to them because right now we got to talk about what happened here on Heaven. That was an insane 5-way fight at the start of this map that honestly changed the pace of the entire game.
Yeah. Because
so many players were taken off the board here. Red Zone ends up with 3 of these kills going his way, but this fight was absolutely crazy. The fact that it was Aslov versus Petrichor, then FaZe, like Space Marines, death from above comes out of the sky to fight them, and then you see Na'Vi show up, and then VP comes in on the low ground, and Na'Vi doesn't think VP's there. They're just securing the high ground after a win, and VP's like, nope, guys, we were waiting for you, and they managed to transition that into an end game push, which takes them into the position to help Rob 8 points from Bagel Pa, because that to me was the other biggest takeaway. That deny after wiping BB was huge.
Yeah, normally I'd be totally adamant about like talking about a winning team, but you're totally on the money with how important that was. Because not only did that cause, you know, huge effects on the rest of the lobby, just opened up so much room for everyone to the point where everyone was 4 alive into the late game, trying to find themselves some room, and it was very easy to find that room.
There are plenty of compounds. We moved to that 4-5 phase, and then we saw that collapse. You know, but it was a lot of 4v4s, two teams against each other until we get to this end game. And this, I think, was the right choice. I think BB team went after Bagel Pa, hoping maybe Virtus Pro would go, all right, we'll push the other side. Virtus Pro smartly goes, or, hear me out, we wipe you guys and then just die to a Molotov.
Yeah, because I think for BB Team and Virtus Pro, I think both of those teams realized that actually shutting down each other at this point might be very difficult in terms of the chase for a top 5.
Yeah.
However, for Bagel Pa, I think that their results have been a little bit more wishy-washy compared to those guys at the top. So maybe if you're shutting down their pursuit, that could have, again, potential knock-on effects on the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, besides that, though, Bagel Pa has had quite the day today. From a really rough start to all of a sudden just coming out of nowhere, and it feels like in the interview with PO during that game, he actually said, you know, I was worried. I was worried that maybe I was making the wrong choice by coming onto the roster, but I feel like I'm starting to sort of get back onto my feet. I feel like I'm in rhythm again. They definitely looked more in rhythm now.
I almost agreed with him when I saw that glider play from the first day of the group stage.
I did agree.
That was one of my favorite moments of PUBG of all time, watching that go down. But
I've seen some crazy glider stuff too. That was the last game where it was the double glider attack at the same time.
Oh yeah, well yeah, on the Rondo game.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was insane. But anyway, that's 20 points going the way of Virtus Pro. Kind of about time, honestly, for today, considering that both Virtus Pro and BB Team haven't really had much to work with through the day. But as you said, going on to Erangel, they find their footing.
Also, it's got to be really irritating to be Bagopod to see yourself third when all the points that would have given you first were those two knuckleheads who took it from you and then denied, a massive deny in the position of VP. So they come out with 20. Huge get for them. Anyone's Legend, again, the team that was sobbing, for lack of a better way to describe it, at the end of day one, has sort of turned it around, and it seems like maybe Himass is waking up, and more importantly, Destroy is looking super strong.
Yeah, I mean, even that one, he obviously got a brilliant nade to get himself some 3 kills going down, but it will be BB team taking that #1 spot, 103 points. The triple digits has been breached by them, and Virtus Pro in 2nd place at the moment. Team Falcons back to where they belong. Sorry.
I mean, there's one more game. Maybe it'll change. But as of now, Team Falcons sitting comfortably in 3rd place. But you know what? 3rd place advances to the grand final.
Now, yes, they do. Bagel Pop moving into top 5 is huge.
Yep.
I will say, Na'Vi falling out of top 5 is also kind of huge because, let's be real, it has not been their day today at all. I'm in shambles. I was saying to everybody, Hakatori captain, surely that's the way. It's not been.
I actually went and changed my captain after that discussion, but you're right. I don't understand what's happening with Na'Vi. They look completely different, and I think it does come down to they have so much reliance on Hakatori as their carry that if he's off his game for the day, which everyone has bad days, that means that there's just no options for you, because every time they've gotten points, it's not been on his back. It's been coming from Fairest or Soset or someone else.
Yeah, at least thankfully for any team, of course, if they do have a bit of a kind of a stalemate, as it were, then they've got at least one day to kind of go away, prepare once again with the format that we do have here. But Extents really salvaging some points for them in the previous one, to try and get them a little bit further ahead. But good to see BB team back on top here.
BB on top, and T5 feeling really good going into this last game, I think.
Let's get to it then. It is time to head on over to our final game of the day here to see who's going to be able to secure themselves that top 5 spot. There is still one day done, but we will get it going right now.
One last game to wrap things up for day 2 of Group B, a day which has seen a lot of change and movement up and down the leaderboard, but in the end, BB team and Bagopah just finding a way to put themselves back in that top 5. It is going to be very, very interesting going into our final day of play, especially if we see some of these teams in the middle of the pack, Toby. A lot of these teams that are in that log jam start to shuffle around a little bit more.
It's funny to me how this mid-pack of teams have a, cerebral synchronization going on. Like the eagerness to go out and get something done. It's like, oh, the start of this has not been too great. Okay, we got to go a bit more aggressive. We got to get some points on the board. Then you see 4 teams doing the exact same thing for the exact same reason and taking that fight up into heaven earlier, right? And we kind of saw it on Rondo earlier too, where teams all try and go aggressive. First it was Na'Vi, then it was FaZe fighting over that little temple on Rondo. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar happen here for a 3rd time, as FaZe jump into military, not something you see too often.
Oh, it isn't, and a little bit of action over by Ruins. This Team Liquid getting a little close to Virtus Pro. Nixie gonna express his displeasure in the way of parting SKS shots, and the new circle will pop, and it's going to center up just on that cube compound off to the east of Georgia Bowl, where Myth is setting up shop right now.
See now, a circle swings northwest. If I'm actively looking for any commotion we could see early on, but honestly, I'm
not seeing much.
Well, that's one thing. It's also just like what can we expect to come? I think Liquid is going to wrap further west towards South George proper. VP should be good in the splits they have right now. My only question is, when does anyone's Legend leave Pachinki, and what collateral damage or what sort of escalation of events can we see off of a potential late rotation out from them? Because I would imagine they were practically going already with a circle like this, but they're not.
Well, we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on that while we check a look at our stats from that last game. Bagopah getting that victory. 200 damage, nutty stuff. And there's your man of the match. It's gonna be Pio. Didn't think we'd ever get to say that again, but here we are. And you know what? You're talking about anyone's legend. Obviously, that's something that we do have to keep a close eye on, what happens around Pochinki. But we do have a number of teams over here on Military Island, and Na'Vi kind of hugging around the northern part of the eastern bridge. Falcons setting up on the northern part of the western bridge. So any of these rotations for these three teams on Military may be a little spicy. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
If you told me that this was just in the previous game, I believe Hugo's Lokisinary was spamming utility all game long, but not quite the case. Over the course of this tournament, 23 nades thrown. That is, he's got to have a sore arm at this point with how much util he's been lobbing over.
That was a hell of a glow up from Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
That last game as well. I mean, we always know that they're capable of pulling that out of the bag at any time, but that was a wild one for sure, especially considering how crazy that early game was, and really they weren't really a part of it until towards the end. So
Red Zone has just surpassed Agatori in kills individually. That is insane. You talk about a glow up of VP. This Pentagram roster, their performance from yesterday into today has been, I mean, complete night and day.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, going into this tournament, I was looking at Asla Pentagram, and I'm like, okay, well, these are some players that I've heard of before, in Hammer and Hal, and then there's this Red Zone kid. I've never really heard of him before. I looked at their previous performance. Okay, he was the kind of their top fragger in the PWS, but you know, that's PWS. That's not international.
Yeah, true.
Damn, Red Zone got in here, and after what was a very forgettable day one, Pentagram really finding their footing here in day number 2. We'll see if they can keep it going. It also goes to show you the fall off, the drop off of Na'Vi and Hakatori in particular.
Yeah.
I don't expect that to be a thing that remains the same. I would not be at all surprised to see him come out on day 3 and just show out again. But
sure.
But that's just the kind of the story of Na'Vi this year, right?
Yep, definitely. A 48-point day for Asla Pentagram so far today. Set at 12th off of yesterday.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
What a turnaround. What a turnaround. Well, we were wondering when our boys from Anyone's Legend were going to make their way out of Pochinki. Now they do. 3 in vehicles, 1 in the sky, as high as Saki is ripped off the ground and will now have a chance to scout forward for his teammates. Looks like they're eyeing ruins, so the vicinity thereof, but VP is already down here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's eyeing that or he just happens to be flying over it, but the rest of the boys are in vehicles going over towards those yellows, and I think that might be where they decide to play, as yeah, he's going to spot out the other teams in that ice cream compound to the east of Everest, as Corexi will take a few shots over into Haizaki, but not enough to get the knock.
That's another thing that underlines the game that VP just had, right? I mean, they get 15 kills, and usually they spread them out pretty evenly, but Corexi didn't have a single kill in that previous game. And that's not saying anything against him, because his role was something else in that match, as we watch Soset go down. Na'Vi in trouble early game here once more. We've seen it before, and usually with one mediocre game comes another. This one here, of course, the game can still go well for them, but Soset out early is not what you want to see happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, and once again, it's just the last guy that was left to do a little bit of scouting. Actually extends kind of on his own as well, and Tickleton spotting out that vehicle, so they know exactly where he is. So trouble continuing for Na'Vi on the south side of the zone. Now FaZe just arrived off to the west of this in vehicles. They're kind of slowing down, looking over in this area, but I think the last game might have been enough to deter them from getting involved in this.
I can just imagine someone on the team going, "Ooh, boys, that's a fight." No, we did it 2 games in a row now. Do not do this.
Absolutely not. Well, BB team, they are going to stick around and wait for the ferry to pick them up from the south side of Sosnovka, and that is a smart play, as we did see those 2 teams camping the bridges on the northern side, but no camps end up coming off in the end. Begopa still sticking around Novo. They might be considering the same thing, although they have Guyon up on the radio tower, maybe doing a little bit of scouting as the ferry will arrive. Burp, burp. You guys ready?
That's how patient
Time to pick
they are.
up. Let's go.
That is how patient they are. They'll wait in the blue for the ferry.
I love that he's jiggle peeking this just in case. That is the PTSD.
Who would take
at
the
this
ferry
point.
to military?
You know
with
what?
this circle from
Could be anybody.
Arabia?
Could
Like,
be
guys,
anybody.
I respect the let's play it safe, but in what world is anyone on board that boat right now?
Look, you know what? If there was somebody, they were going to get absolutely
You
roasted.
know what? You are right. And given the fact that they're playing one of the biggest tournaments they've probably ever been in, it's fair to say that they should take their safety precautions.
Better safe than sorry. Well, Bagel doesn't look to be showing any inclination of trying to make their way over, although it looks like Guillon finally going to hop in this vehicle.
They're waiting for the
over there.
ferry.
Yeah, maybe. BB team, meanwhile, they will arrive safe and sound here in the matter of moments. Meanwhile, Wolves, where are they playing around? They're on the north side of the river, just south of shooting range. Nobody really up there with them. In fact, only 2 teams playing north of the, or 3 teams rather. Wolves, Rock, and Change the Game are fully committed to the north side of the river. Meanwhile, Third on 5, they've left Rosseted up there, and Myth has a couple of players up there as well. So
yeah,
see if it's not like a full commit, obviously, because you still have plenty of paths to get down across the river, but yeah.
Safe to say that the vast majority of teams, at least for now, playing the odds, and that is there is theoretically more landmass in circle on that southern side right now, so that is where the circle should go. CGG is already now setting up an E-pickup in anticipation of a potential southern shift. We'll see if they're going to need to use it or not. Scabby is running around, maybe looking for a DMR. He's running with an M16 as his secondary weapon, which we know that Snakers has as choice. But I haven't really seen anyone else willingly play M16 over other DMRs yet.
Myth has been kind of sneaky with this one. They've got the rest of the guys on the northern side of the river looking down here and spotting out where Team Liquid is. And Scappy's just kind of moving around them, seeing if he can maybe put himself in a position to take them by surprise.
Sorry to interrupt you, but this E-pickup is too soon. They're not going to see the circle by the time they have to jump on it. So I guess they just jump up and all jump out if it goes north again.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh?
Wolves doing the same thing, a little bit late.
There you go.
And yeah, okay. I'll be interested to see if Wolves actually take this one or if they decide to just kind of hang out. As change the game, they're going to elect to go down south, but where do you go?
Yeah.
It's going to be a brutal landing as James will get spotted out by Falcons. He's going to run right through as the last man through, and yeah, Vard going to take a few shots back in return in anger, but Falcons get that one free and clear. 2 kills now for them.
Falcons have been on rotation camp duty through these last 3 matches, I feel like. The previous one as well, they were doing so, and now here once more doing it against Na'Vi earlier, FaZe now as well. They're wounding the EMEA teams, and I don't like it.
We saw Copenhagen Wolves. They're going to send Vox up for a little Vox scout. Another E-pickup has been popped as we see change the game, trying to make their landing. Virtus Pro doing the same thing that they did moments ago against anyone's legend, just letting them know that they're there. A few shots over in that direction. Looks like Vox will go and return to the rest of his team. Meanwhile, Third on 5 have popped an E-pickup as well from over in South George. We'll see if I mean, I don't see why they would pop it and not take it. They might be doing the same thing that Copenhagen Wolves just did, and just send somebody up to do a little scouting.
Yeah, I mean, Rosseted is still holding the back line, making sure that if they are to go in through containers and that way east, that they should be safe and have no one playing in from behind him. We'll see how many up to go. Yep, it's just going to be Floki flying on up to see what's available over on the other side, and curious as to how deep he's actually commit on this fight. Yep, answer's given already. Not deep at all. He's going to go back and get a car.
That's how you do the scout. Yep.
He didn't get shot at. Safe.
Exactly. Well, they knew the Team Liquid was ahead of them in the crates, and they saw Myth drive through. Myth going up to the top of Everest, where they're going to join Falcons and Game Start Win. So Myth is in the dead center. You can see Falcons starting to make their way over here, looking down, and yeah, Kickstart just getting an idea of what's going down in crates as he's going to keep eyes on Third on 5.
Starting to hear the Thai fans get a little worried.
A little antsy,
with how they don't realize what's happening right next to them. Yeah, scooting around in their seats right now in anticipation of what's about to go down. But Kick, I mean, as much as Myth ain't looking that way, Kick ain't looking towards Myth either. You do have 2 players, though. They are ready and waiting should Myth overstepped their boundaries.
Falcons just being very sneaky. No shots taken. They've left Tickleton on the low side here. They've got 3 up there, and you can see they're just lying as prone and quiet as possible as Akan will run into Petrichor Road out in the blue zone. Remember, Begopah, they were hanging around in Novo for a long time. AZ just getting left behind, and now Myth getting a little close, and there you go. Kickstart gets one, H-Wing gets the other. Baron's gonna go down as well, and Myth getting picked apart. Olympus, the last player left alive, takes the shots over towards Shrimsy, but Kickstart will finish him off, and Falcons now up to 6 kills.
As clean as can be. Perfect execution in that one from the side of Falcons, able to not only reset Guiltilo on up, but also make use of this high ground position, because you did have GameStart win in a nearby position where had there been kills going back and forth, they could have potentially engaged on it. But this one done with quickly as we shift waterbound once more. Next circle, of course, to be expected going south, but we'll see if that's going to happen or not.
All right. See, looks like Rock's going to send it over. Copenhagen Wolves, meanwhile, we'll see if where they decide to cross, and if they will cross. Yeah, if there's going to be anywhere for them to go. Na'Vi playing that very southern part, playing around the edge. They might have company here shortly as BB team has finally arrived inside the zone after taking their ferry crossing, but the south side of this circle is very occupied right now.
Are we in a world right now where there's not enough space in the southern side that Phase 4 won't contain water and therefore could potentially go northeast? Or should it just, default shift down towards the southwest?
Oh boy, I don't know. I'll leave all the speculating to you guys, and I'll just keep an eye on what's happening in front of me as Lucarux will take out Purdy Curdy. So Team Liquid trying to make that push in, and they're getting right into Virtus Pro, and they're suffering the consequences. You can see them still hiding around in waves. Correxy, send that grenade on over, and it is going to die just before reaching Alo.
Exactly, Corexy trying to lock one more. That one is going to be great. As he finds one, only the knock for now, but could potentially be with a flush to follow. As Pego past Pio. Tries to see if he can get something off of that rotation. Not quite to be. Actually, you know what? I scratched that. They do find red zone.
Yeah, running out of real estate now, so there's a lot of fights taking place across the map as we see Pentagram already losing one. Begopah trying to fight their way in as they take those shots towards Petrichor Road, who have dropped down in ruins from their emergency pickup. Meanwhile, Sparking gets taken down by the grenade. Team Liquid down to just Luke 12, down to just nobody as Virtus Pro continue their killing ways.
And they're doing so with only 2 guys in the up close as well. Good job on the side of VP, leaving Nixie as kind of the overhead protector further in towards Ruins proper. Pio now looking forward. They lost the Khan early. We saw that against Petrichor in that rotation. Petrichor, they've said, nope, we're not going to be part of this at all. So a little bit of space for Begopah to do. Issue is they now have Pentagram set right next to them. You can see here really being a nuisance.
And now both teams have the problem of Copenhagen Wolves taking shots into their backs as they spot out the smokes. They spot out Glaz, has to retreat in the U.S. Copenhagen Wolves just eating a little bit of blue zone as they continue to wrap around. Bizzler all the way down south trying to find an entry point. It's going to be hard to find as Asl Pentagram will retreat down into the boatyard. Begopah still have the waves to work with.
Yeah, they do. For Wolves right now is, please go north. I think that's what they were saying. Like, somehow in the world go north because we know it's free. We just came from it. If we can drive back there, we would be golden. Issue is I don't think it will. Let's see, 5 seconds left to go. And with where everyone is positioned right now, you'd have to imagine they've guessed it right. And well, honestly, more water in than I expected. I thought it was going to go straight south, but as we can see, observers indicating it as well. Falcons get to play on the high ground for a bit longer.
They do indeed. Game start win, retreat back downhill. So Falcons get to hold on to that high ground a little bit more. You see BB team, anyone's legend, Na'Vi, all those teams on the edge are going to have to figure out a way to get into this as the Ruins, you can change the game kind of in 4 deep, playing around that Ruins. That spot is going to be a rough path to rotate through. FaZe try to get a little bit close, but Game Start Win is ready for it, and FaZe will have to pull away.
Yep, out of the vehicle, immediately spread out because you know that there's util coming your way. Game Start Win. As CC up close, Lops Nate's on forward, able to get one down to half HP, but Gustav is there with a response. Does get taken down in return though. CC able to find the double, and just like that, it's just one player on his feet, and that's Vex.
Vex having to dodge and dive, and Falcons, meanwhile, are shooting down onto all of this as well. They're going to try to steal the kills away, as those look like easy points. Vex will lay down the smoke wall, try to prevent that from happening for the time being, and it looks like he's having some success with that, as nothing has come through, but that one's going to take down Gustav.
EP not wanting to engage in this. Anyone's legend sat just down below this compound as well. Oh, Vex trying to get the safety behind the cover. The US will be able to get there. But again, as I was saying, a lot of teams on this southern side, and now those fights are starting to happen. Adusi already gone down.
Gotta go somewhere. Na'Vi gonna send 2 in. They're gonna leave Extends behind, as Anyone's Legend will take down 1, but Hackatory will trade it back, gets him ass, and now Na'Vi will be a little bit more active. Remember, they are down to 3, losing Sosed early, and this is just the duo. Extends still left behind as an insurance policy. Anyone's Legend trying to make their way in, but they're very split. They've got multiple fights that they have to worry about, as Haizaki will go down to a Hackatory grenade.
They're coming in here with literally no fear in their life. They know how many opponents they have ahead of them, and still taking the fight to 3 different teams, and doing so in style. No damage taken at all just yet, so Extends is free to play that slow backside roam up towards CTG.
And BB Team, they have lost a couple as well. They've got Molodok and Bestalosh still alive, still trying to wait for the perfect time to strike if it reveals itself at all. Na'Vi, you see Extends starting to bring it up on the backside. Hudat's going to find Wenbo, and immediately the trade coming through is Destroy, and the rest of Anyone's Legend. Multiple fights, 3-way fights going on as we wait for Extends. He finally strikes. We'll get the knock on to Ares.
He sees all of it up to engage late, and maybe a bit too late as Hackatory down. Extends been found now as well. CTG able to clean up on that southern side, despite being surprised with how split out Na'Vi were. Just 1 left alive on the side of Na'Vi now, and that's Fairest.
And the kill feed just absolutely lighting up as that southern side comes to a head. BB Team gets eliminated. Na'Vi will collect a few more, while Fairest is the last one left alive. GSW still taking casualties as Falcons has just been able to stay on that high ground. 3rd parting, 4th parting, 5th parting, all of this as Fairest will finally get taken down by Tian Tian.
Hanging you down to low HP here as well for game start win. This is a must make something of it type game. They're sat rock bottom of the leaderboard right now, and they're in a position from where if they can somehow clear out Face and get out of this combo, maybe wrap the right side rich, they could make something of this game. But only 2 points so far. They will be back up to 4 life. They need to get it done here.
All credit due to FaZe right now. They've managed to stay alive, keeping 2 up, and they will survive to fight another day. VP trying to hold the line against the Navy SEALs coming from across the water. Bagopa, Wolves all coming in. Petrichor Road looking off in that direction. Asla Pentagram still in the ruins as well. So that is a 3-way fight that's going to have to come to a head here shortly. Virtus Pro, they've got a lot of work to do here defending their territory.
Rock's got to be spotting all of Bagopa on the shoreline in just a moment if he keeps creeping further towards the northwest alongside it. In the meantime, the remaining 3 from Wolves, they're going to get out of the bell tower and down into the low ground, run alongside that same shoreline too.
And Bagopa turning their attention over towards Rock, who has been forced to the shoreline by Theradon 5. They're still 4 strong up on that north side. They've been defending that bridge, preventing Rock from making the cross. But there you go. You said it. Vox was creeping along that coastline. Eventually, he was going to spot him. He'll find 1. He'll find 2. And Wolves will collect another point.
It's the only path they can take too, so they might as well clear it before they start making their way up. Smart on Vox, good on Vox to be able to get the double there as well.
Michael will go down in the process. So Wolves down to 3. Meanwhile, the church is being breached. Asla Pentagram laying down the smoke to protect their entry. You've got Nan and AZ inside. Ming Ming working around the outside. You can see he's got the grenade in hand. The grenade going to fall right on top of red zone. Perfectly placed by Ming Ming.
No chance for response there whatsoever. And off of that, of course, they want to make something happen. 2 players down to low HP already. AC trying to get out the window, help his teammate. But Circle is forcing them to go the opposite direction, so maybe defensive hold here is better for them. Nan just exactly can't get the angle, but Ming Ming is there to trade.
Nicely done by Ming Ming. Good teamwork by AZ and them, but they will go down in the end as CTG. They've got an angle onto all of this as they continue to fight their way in as a duo. Hangi and Tian Tian just making things miserable for everybody coming through this church. Glaz, the last player left for Asla. and 1 up for Petrichor. Meanwhile, Wolves continue to fight their way into this Virtus Pro compound. Virtus Pro giving them a little bit of room to work with.
Rock collapsing the hills up above as well, so making it a little bit more difficult to make your way in. But having said that, for Wolves, if VP and Rock gets into a proper fight here, there might be a third-party opportunity for them.
And don't forget about Third on 5 coming in from the north side. They are already third-partying it. They're going to find Bizzler, and there you go. Petrichor Road gets eliminated as Glass strikes from the blue before going down himself. So that eastern side now clear. Virtus Pro can turn their attention over towards Rock. Wolves still pinned right up against the blue.
Only now do we get inside placement points to just 5 players inside this next circle. 20 people having to make their way up into the open onto the roadside.
And Falcons still have that high ground. They're up to 7 kills now. You got to imagine the damage is looking pretty good as well. Game Start Win have to leave their compound. They have to make their way in. FaZe has to be on the clock here. Virtus Pro, they do lose Beamy, so they will defend their territory as much as they can. Nice grenade will force them to move around.
Correx has been playing the south side of this position for a while, so I think he knows and he can feed that in for a cross. They do have space on the back. The only issue is Chan still sat there holding, but they're inside circle. No reason to over-aggress right now. If there's no pressure set up on the southern side, let's just chill here and focus north.
And we're going to see how active Third on 5 decides to be here. They know exactly where the Rock is. They've got him pinned down. Santastico leaves his cover, and he's going to get spotted by Exgrozit. That will be him going down. Third on 5 still playing around on that high ground. Nobody taking shots at them right now, but they have eyes on everybody. Souls gets the knock on the Nixie.
See, Souls, what more can you do with this position? 2 players make it 3 almost of T5 opting to engage in this. Floki, first one in the vehicle to make his way closer, trying to get that off angle, able to find it here as well. Spots RBN in the open, can't connect the shots.
Third on 5 decided that they've seen enough knocks. They want to get involved here and try to clean up what's left, as they've got a nice grenade ready for Rock. They're going to send it, put it right in there. Shoulder, nicely done. RBN goes down. Souls survives with just 15 HP. More grenades being sent by Third on 5. That's going to do it for Rock Esports. Virtus Pro, though, managed to get their res. They're back up to 3 strong.
When does CTG do something about this positioning? And now they're wrapping around the southern side there, or the eastern side, I should say. They've been seeing all of this, and they want a couple of points off of it too. Rossiter, though, is going to be the one rewarded with the knock there.
The utility on point from Third on 5 as they find another one with the Molotov, and that's going to do it for Virtus Pro. Copenhagen Wolves are the next on the menu as Exgrozit will find one, Fluky will find the other. T5 wrapping down from the north side.
Yep, climbing up that leaderboard as well. Just 2 points out of top 3, 3 points out of second place, and with BP out already, still a lot of top to claim.
And while this is all happening, what a spray from Fluky. Will take down Chan, and now that'll leave Hangy, the only player from CTG left. While this is all going on, Falcons leave their high ground position. They go to the north side. They're going to be backfilling Third on 5, so Third on 5 has to be on time with this. They have to expect the push.
They have 2 wins on the day already. Can they make it 3 for T5? This would be, I mean, absolutely insane for Thailand if they can bring it home. Explosive finding Kickstart there is going to open up an opportunity for them as well. Strimsy does find one in return, so they need to slow things down here now, realizing they have Falcons in the north.
Big trades to start things off, and Game Start Win going to be the big beneficiary out of all of this. So is FaZe. They still have 2 left alive, and they're backfilling exactly where Game Start Win pulled away from. So they still have VAR, they still have Fex. They don't know that this compound is empty and clear. Falcons managed to get Kickstart back on his feet. They've left Tickleton on that high ground on Everest to defend themselves. Now that the circle is pulled away, they're going to pull away from this fight with Theraton 5. Make sure that Theraton 5 continues to wrap around on that on the eastern side rather.
Well, you know what? We sat behind these 3 pieces of cover for 20 minutes. Let's go back there. It was more comfortable in this area of the map. The building, nah, I don't like that. This is my new favorite home. It shows now all of Falcons alongside the majority of Game Start Win is starting to look your direction, and I don't think those Doritos are going to be able to block the vision of all of them.
Game Start Win stand to gain so much.
They have to.
If they can pull off a win here, they have just been absolute bottom feeders for the last 2 days. But one game could change their fortunes, put them right back in the mix as nice shots from Shrimzy will take down Fex. Vard still playing around on that ridgeline. Kickstart keeping eyes on GSW.
And what can GameStart win
Oh!
this position is
Through
the
the
difficult
air.
part of it. Nice mid-air connect there from Tiggleton. Takes out FaZe. 4th place they go, but again, a salvage game for FaZe here where can't really expect to get too much. 4 points is what's going to be for them.
All right, it's a 4v4v4. GSW control of the south. Falcons and Third on 5 sharing spot in the north. And the good news for both, for Falcons rather, Third on 5 can't really push west to engage with them because GSW has eyes on that. And at this point, I don't even know. Okay, Third on 5, they still have a decent amount of utility left. All these teams have a decent amount of utility left, with the exception being GameStar win. Only one smoke. We'll see if that ends up playing a factor here towards the end game, but they have so much room really to work around on the south. It may not matter.
This final circle shift is going to be pretty decisive, I think, in who's going to come out victorious. Look at the center of it, and you know what, might as well just send it right down the middle. I was just going to say, this center, there's a reason everyone is hugging the blue right now. You don't want to be the first ones to move in to nade territory of your opponents. They don't know exactly how much they have to work with, but as we can see, the majority, I mean, all of these 3 teams have predominantly been fighting at a distance, so they all have util left to work with.
As fair as it can be right there. As you see, Third on 5 just
no one in.
Using the low side. Yeah, we'll see where they decide to go. I mean, the path forward for Falcons seems pretty obvious. That road does still remain inside the zone. It still has a little bit of high ground to work with. They've got the deployable shields. They've got UAS for cover. That might be the best play for them. And it looks like Falcons and GSW just going to trade shots. And now Third on 5, they might be on the move.
I think the issue for Falcons is they want to play inside the circle, but as soon as they go in, they get backfilled by T5, and that's then a death sentence for them too, right? So it's a game of chicken right now, and, well, you don't want to be the first, that's for sure. But here we go. Nate's being thrown forward. Falcons realizing, well, if they ain't going to make a play, we're going to have to try and see if we can.
And none of the utility finding the mark just yet. Kickstart with the spray will find a little bit of damage, but won't get the knocks just yet. H-Win taking the shots in. He's going to find X Grows it with a grenade. Tiggleton finds Ranger X with a spray. Fluky down low. Rossiter down low. GSW using this opportunity to send Xiaotong off to the west.
Wow.
H-Win with that M249, and clean as you like from Team Falcons. They get rid of Third on 5 before GSW can take advantage.
Falcons eyeing a potential first place after this game with how they're currently playing. First was the fight against Myth up on Everest. Clean as can be this one as well. No one knocked, barely any damage taken. Even if the util is off, their aim was on point.
13 kills now for Falcons, 99 points overall, and they have the north side. But while they had to take that fight with Third on 5, GameStart wins, spread out. They have multiple angles of fire. They've got multiple flanks covered. It's going to be very, very difficult for Falcons to take this one down. GameStart win, though. They have to be careful. They can't let themselves be caught out one by one.
Xiaotong has no utils to work with. They have 8 nades on the side of GameStart win. You better start baiting some attention right now. Force Falcons to make their play, because if they wrap east, all of Xiaotong's advantage is gone. The nade holders are the ones being shut at right now. But Xiaotong finally opens up, reveals himself, finds the first one. Ming is there to get the second, and now Falcons are playing on the back foot.
Just beautiful back-to-back knocks. Good trade from Shrimzy to find Xiaotong. He goes for the flush as well to make sure they secure the point and secure the kill. Another one as they find Xiaopian, and now it's a 2v2. GameStar win. They'll lose CC 108. It's down to just Ming as Falcons fighting for the blade. But what a grenade! He only had one, and that's all he needed to get the win.
I thought for a second that they were going to turn that one around after losing Kick and H-Win in a heartbeat. Shrimzy and Tick clawed back into it, made it a 2v1, but one nade in the end was all it was going to take for them to come out victorious. What a finish!
Oh, just a phenomenal 2 games on Erangel that we just got to witness. Falcons almost come out ahead, but GameStart win. Is there a team in this lobby that needed a win more than them? They have been hovering around in 16th place since the word go, but now they finally have some points. They finally have some momentum to take them into our final day of play.
And shout out to that GameStart win fan right there. Been sitting here for 2 days waiting for something to happen, and finally, finally, you can rejoice as they get themselves a win on the final game of Day 2 of Group B.
Well, a cheeky jab by the host that's going to be eating his hat now after calling them game start bin. They go and get themselves a victory straight away right after it. Good for them here, although it got a little bit more precarious than it needed to be, I think. They had 8 nades to throw towards Falcons.
They had 8 nades and they waited too long. They had a chance to hard push while Falcons fought T5 and they chose not to. The amount of passive endgame there was wild, but you know what? If it works, I can't knock it. They came away with that.
And they do get the win. We'll see how much that pushes them off of 16th place when we get the overall leaderboards here. As we take a look back at everything that was going on from all of this. Again, though, when it comes to a circle like this, it does pose quite a difficult scenario that you were seeing these teams trying to move around, never mind the river being in for as long as it was.
Okay, so the river was in forever, which created a really tough split for a lot of teams to finish. We had 3 teams at Ruins in this lockdown kind of, stalemate over here. 3 teams on top of Everest that had to stalemate for a while. There was a bunch of areas where it was just teams locked in spot, and then when we get to this final end game, 0 cover, right? And I think this is where we've seen really the portable shields making huge changes to this game. The fact that the Falcons were able to use that to get close enough to T5 to engage with some ineffectual grenades, but that opened the door for them to know where they were pushing. And they said, if these grenades don't get a kill, we know exactly where these guys are standing.
And one of the big winners for today, I've got to say, is Theron on 5, right?
Yes.
We were almost on track to see a triple win coming out from Theron on 5.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it really would have. But Falcons here, able to mop them up considerably. An absolute execution from them against where Theron on 5 was. And GSW finally cleaning this up. Again, though, with this 1 nade alone, never mind, they still had 6 or 7 in hand to make this work. I was screaming in the back. I was like, throw everything! Throw everything!
I don't understand why it took so long to get that first grenade out there. But also a shout out to the Falcons to be able to clean up T5 with almost no loss of taking damage, no life loss, no anything. They looked like they were just as healthy when they started, or when they finished, they started Liquid.
Concern on the face of Liquid, not too surprising. Concern definitely on the face of Himas as well, as they currently are still in the bottom 3 here.
I mean, so we are now 12 games into 18 to determine top 5 go to the grand finals, 3 go home. And I think some of the teams that we're seeing down towards the bottom that are struggling are shocking me. Liquid was looking great when we started the day today. They were up there in the top 6, I believe it was, or 7, and now struggling to stay up outside that 3.
One thing's for sure, though. I mean, at the end of day number 1 for this group, I was like, well, okay, this is like going to be pretty clean cut with how some of these teams are running away with it. However, end of day 2, now so much is open, so much to play for here.
It's been kicked wide open, and I think that's what we're talking about. Even with how today went, when you look at that leaderboard, the teams on the bottom don't have to stress as much because the clear path to the top 5 is still within, I think, 30 points. So that means even those teams that have struggled, because now GSW gets that win, it's going to be super tight in terms of where the bubble teams are tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get an opportunity to have a look at the overall leaderboards in just a little bit. Well, one thing is for sure, that it will be tight, as Toffees has mentioned here. Well, we are ready to head on over to the stage. We have some interviews ready to go here to hear from them at the end of day number 2.
เอาละค่ะเรียบร้อยไปแล้วนะคะสำหรับการแข่งขันในวันนี้นั่นเองค่ะแล้วก็แน่นอนเชื่อว่าสนุกสนานกันอย่างเต็มที่มากๆแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเรามาพูดคุยกับผู้เล่นที่ต้องบอกว่ามี outstanding นะคะหรือว่าสิ่งที่เป็นสิ่งที่ถูกพูดถึงนะคะในเรื่องของเกมของเราที่ผ่านมานั่นเองตอนนี้เราก็อยู่กับ Red Zone จาก Asla Pentagram นั่นเองนะจ๊ะ Alright, so for the first question that everyone many of them would like to know, you delivered such an impressive damage and being top 2 in both kills and damage today. So how do you personally view about this standout individual stats?
오늘 일단 되게 뛰어난 활약을 보여주시면서 킬이랑 데미지 둘 다 톱2에 오르는 성과를 보여주셨는데요. 혹시 선수 개인적으로는 이런 성과를 어떻게 평가하시나요?
일단 오늘 보이는 거 최대한 죽이려고 했고 팀원들이 다 같이 도와줘서 할 수 있었던 것 같습니다.
I just focus on what I see in my front, and our teammates really helped a lot today, so that was the point.
Well, that's nice. And the second one, even though your day 1 standing put you in a dangerous position, but you drop a huge 13 kills game in both match 1 and match 2 today. So, very impressive. And what happened? What adjustment did you make after day 1?
일단 데이 1에서는 결과가 조금 불안했었는데 오늘 매치 1이랑 매치 2 둘 다 13킬을 기록하시면서 되게 훌륭한 경기력을 보여주셨는데요. 데이 1 이후에 혹시 어떤 변화가 있었을까요?
데이 1에 저희가 최근에 대회가 없었어가지고 살짝 감 잡는 날이었던 것 같고요. 최대한 그때 나왔던 실수들 잘 보완하면서 오늘 했는데 잘 따라준 것 같습니다.
We just reviewed our mistakes, and actually we didn't have that many matches recently, so we are still finding our pace.
Wow, but that's still impressive. And last one, what's your goal in this PGC 2025, and what's the key to reaching your goal?
네, 이번 PGC 2025 목표는 무엇이고 그 목표를 달성하려면 이제 어떻게 해야 한다고 생각하시나요?
일단 급파 직행이 목표고요. 급파 직행하기 위해서 오늘도 물론 나왔던 실수들 최대한 보완해서 3일차 잘 마무리하면 될 것 같습니다.
The biggest goal is, of course, going straight to the grand finals. And to make it happen, we have to review our mistakes and fix it to not let them happen again.
Wow. All right. So we cheer you up as the pentagram. Thank you so much, Red Zone. Bye-bye. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ See you. Let's take a rest. And now แล้วก็สำหรับในช่วงนี้แน่นอนนะคะสำหรับคนที่ได้กินไก่กันไปนะคะถึง2มื้อเต็มๆวันนี้เรามาพูดคุยกันหน่อยดีกว่านะคะกับ Ross and JR T5 Woo! Ho, whoa, whoa, whoa. สวัสดีค่ะโอ้โหให้เขาหน่อยวันนี้สุดมากแล้วก็เมื่อกี้เกมสุดท้ายคือต้องบอกว่าลุ้นแบบลุ้นมากๆเนาะแต่ว่าวันนี้ต้องบอกเลยว่าทีไฟของเราทำฟอร์มออกมาได้ดีมากๆนะคะกินไก่กันไปถึง2มื้อที่เอาปรบมือให้เขาหน่อยสิจ้าทีไฟของเรานะคะทีนี้ต้องบอกว่าแนวโน้มของทีมไปในทิศทางที่ดีมากๆอยากจะถามว่าณตอนนี้คิดว่าฟอร์มของทีมเราเนี่ยมันเป็นยังไงบ้าง
ก็ดีครับแต่ก็ยังไม่ได้เพอร์เฟกต์เต็มร้อยครับ
โอเคนะคะ so I'll just ask about like let him describe about the team's current form it's good but it's not perfect like 100% so it need to be upload and next แน่นอนต้องบอกว่าเหลืออีกวันเดียวที่เราจะไปสู่รอบ Grand Finals ดังนั้นเนี่ยวันนี้แฟนๆมาเชียร์เยอะมากๆต้องบอกว่าทั้งที่ชมผ่านทางไลฟ์ด้วยแล้วก็ที่มาหยุดณที่นี่ด้วยมีอะไรอยากจะบอกแฟนๆหน่อยไหมคะ
ก็ขอบคุณแฟนเชียร์ครับที่สนามแล้วก็ทางบ้านด้วยนะครับที่เชียร์ทีมเชียร์ฮอนไฟครับพวกเราก็จะทำให้เต็มที่ที่สุดครับจะนำทีมเข้าไปสู่รอบแกรนด์ไฟนอลให้ได้ครับ
ว้าวปรบมือนะคะ So I just asked him because we have just only one day before we get a direct spot in the grand final. So he's gonna do his best. Thank you all the fans for cheering T5 for those online and offline. And for moreover, he's gonna make a direct spot in grand finals. This is T5. ขอบคุณค่ะขอบคุณมากๆวันนี้โอ้โหทำให้เราได้สนุกสนานแล้วก็ตื่นเต้นกระชุ่มกระชวยแต่ว่าเดี๋ยวตอนนี้นะคะขออนุญาตส่งกลับกันไปที่ analyst I would like to over back to you our cutest analyst
You're definitely the cutest.
Am I the cutest analyst or is the baby the cutest analyst?
You're the cutest. I'm like a heartthrob. You're just cute.
We were kind of like cheering, bring the baby, bring the baby. But we were unsuccessful. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's take a look at this game and how it all unfolded. Because GameStar decided to get themselves a win, finally, here in the tournament. But it will be Falcons that's really walking away with the majority of the kills.
Yeah, that 14 kills is huge. They're tired of being in third place. Hopefully this gets them out of it as we end the day today. GameStar win, though. It was a time when it was desperate. Whether, jokes aside, GameStar bin or GameStar to the home, it doesn't matter. This is where you got to make that step. They got themselves out of a position which honestly would have been untenable going into tomorrow if they hadn't gotten this win. So they are now in a spot where they can fight to get out of the bottom three, and I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we just look at what Asla Pentagram was able to do, right?
Yep.
Today, alongside some of the other teams that have really risen through the ranks, it will be Ming, though, taking the man of the match for this one by the looks of things for GameStar win. Yeah, it's just, you watch that final scenario go down, there's just some little things here and there that can easily be kind of ironed out, right?
And what actually kind of makes me frustrated about this is the fact that there's a world where when you're in 16th, man of the match, congratulations going to Ming. they really, I genuinely believe, should have pushed that fight against T5 and Falcons, because you're looking at it, you're going, that win could have been bigger. And if we didn't make a bigger win, like really, what are we losing in 16th place? It's a chance to put another 8 points on the board and get closer to avoiding that cutoff.
Well, we'll take a look at those points coming on in alongside everybody that's been able to perform quite well in this game. Jeez, Tiggleton.
Right.
This is just this game alone. He had a good Overwatch spot.
He did. He had a really good Overwatch. In fact, I liked what the Falcons did, where they sort of left him up on the high ground. They floated the 3 guys around to sort of take a fight if they needed to. They brought them back once they didn't get the circle. But again, it comes down to, I think a lot of those fights, Shrimzy was, despite a terrible C4 earlier today, has been man on the spot when it comes to some of these fights. He's won 1v1s that I don't think he had a right to, and it's really, really helped him out.
Yeah, and when it comes to the last scenario as well, Shrimzy and Tiggleton being alive there, those are the guys that were really posing a huge threat to game start win. But anyway, it will be Falcons at the end here with 59 kills, taking that #1 spot across the group so far here. Good stuff by them, and that, as you say, should be pushing them beyond that 3rd place mark with 20 points going the way in this game.
Very, very nice. Game start win, though, with 17 is huge. I think that's almost double what they had 2 games ago going into that one.
Yeah.
If it was around 15 to 18, kind of come into that. So that should give them a big glow up here. Therathon 5, though, has been the big fresh air. I don't know if it's having the kids in the audience, having the support of the hometown team, but these guys looked good and almost had 3 chicken dinners today.
They did. They did. It was brilliant stuff coming out from them alongside Azla Pentagram as well. I feel those 2 are the ones that have really glowed up throughout the day. So that means Therathon 5 is now in 3rd place. Falcons in 2nd. Virtus Pro falls just 1 point behind the boys overall, but that's a big change here.
Yeah, I think it's also a big for BB Team and Falcons to finally feel like they got a little bit of space in terms of wanting to be in that top 3 from the chase pack. Though Virtus Pro changed the game, still very much in that hunt. For me, the biggest shock today and disappointment was Na'Vi. The fact that they were in such a good spot coming into today, and they have let the 2 that were ahead of them just run. Na'Vi was not at all the Na'Vi that was here last time.
6 games left. I still have massive concerns despite them just getting a win here. I still think Game Start Win has to be extremely, extremely concerned by their overall performance. Anyone's Legend also has to be concerned. Copenhagen Wolves has now dropped into 3rd here as well.
Copenhagen Wolves is a shocking drop-off. The arrival of Snakers at the event was supposed to be sort of this breath of fresh air. It doesn't seem to be panning out just yet, but it could be getting your feet back under you after not having a lot of time to play. For me, it's about game start win. The fact of the matter is we have played 12 games. They, in that one game, doubled their points from 11 games. So they can't come back tomorrow and get out of the bottom 3 and hope that that happens again. They need to completely revamp what they're doing.
Yeah, with only 1 more day left, it's looking dire for them. Tomorrow, of course, we have that Group A coming back. They'll have their 6 games to wrap things up as well. That's going to be a bit of a blinder because, again, things got quite even there. There are a few names that I think we're probably quite concerned about down towards the bottom. But there is, of course, 5 spots tomorrow, we guarantee for the grand finals.
And that's what it comes down to. You want to lock that up. It is a very long break, but it's plenty of time to strategize and watch everyone else struggle through the last stage. This is what you train your entire year, maybe your entire life for. You don't want to leave it in the last stage. You want to make sure you get that top 5, you go straight to the grand final, and you fight for your dreams, the cash, and the Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah, you don't... Oh, the car. Oh, yes. Well, absolutely. You just tickled me there for a second. All right, well, that does it here for the day as day number 2 wraps up for Group B. And we got to thank, of course, all the sponsors for making it happen.
Thank you to our official monitor partner, Zowie BenQ, for making the vision the best it can be.
We got TT Racing as well, making sure that their official gaming furniture partner, making sure that they've got unbreakable comfort and razor-sharp focus for all of the players behind us to make sure that they are the very best here at PGC.
And again, a big thank you to AWS, another official partner here at PGC 2025.
And finally, OP.GG. You can overpower your game if you head on over to OP.GG. Check out all the numbers, all the stats, all the breakdowns here for PGC, as well as the PGSs that have been going on prior. And that does it for today. It's been an interesting one because I did not expect what we saw for today. Therathon 5 with almost a 3-peat, basically, from what they were able to throw out today. Falcons now bumping themselves up to 2nd place, and some really high rises, especially Azla Pentagram, I think was very important to keep their campaign going.
Azla Pentagram was a huge breath of fresh air to see how they played today. I think this shows just how crazy that 1-day gap between your sort of play can affect these lobbies. And my takeaway is getting ready for both of our groups to head into their final day of play. play when you need to make that top 3 to get your bid to the grand final, and it's so open in both lobbies, means we're going to have 2 extremely exciting days of PUBG.
For sure, for sure. Thank you very much, Toughies, for joining me here today. Thank you to everybody tuning in around the world. That does it here for the second day of Group B. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place, to conclude Group A.
Pressure's building, I can feel it coming up. The tension's rising, can't you see we've had enough? There's no controlling us, we're never backing down. The revolution's coming, you can hear the sound. Destruction's calling your name. You won't be sleeping giant, now we're bringing the pain. There ain't no stopping this train. You lit the spark and now it's fanning flame. Let's get fired up, let's get rowdy. Don't ever seem to learn, gotta let them feel the burn. Get fired up, let's get rowdy. Let's go. You will never bring me down. 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 You pushed us up against the wall and now we're swinging. You tried to silence all our screams but now we're singing. You thought we'd go along with everything you say. I'd rather take my honor straight to the grave. Destruction's calling your name. You woke the sleeping giant, now we're bringing the pain. There ain't no stopping this train. You lit the spark and now we're fanning the flame. Let's get fired up, let's get rowdy. Don't ever seem to learn, time to let them feel the burn. Get fired up, let's get rowdy. Let's go. You will never bring me down. can't you see we've had enough? There's no controlling us, we're never